Ojama Blue, Ojama Black, and I are here. Well, I being Ojama Yellow, and we're here to open the 2 new starter decks for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And they are Type 0 and 9. So I chose Type 0 because I played Type 0 and I haven't played 9 yet, admittedly. And I enjoyed Type 0. Well, how do you like 9?
It's okay.
It was alright.
It's a whole lot of mediocrity. It's a whole, in my opinion.
I like Type 0 though. Trey is pretty freaking hard to use because he's an archer. So there's that. Alright, so let's take a look at the starter deck boxes. There's no actual description of what types they are. You only go by the color. So in which case, I am assuming that this will be... It's not Earth, because Earth is yellow, right?
So it's wind.
So it's wind and lightning. And for 9, it's fire and water.
Water, I think, or ice. Fire.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Could be ice.
That could be
I
it.
actually don't know.
Alright, so...
As always, the packaging style of this is absolutely abysmal.
That is true.
The box is flimsy. Like
And
literally, we pulled this out and then I can literally just like pull this out. It was already halfway.
It's not really sealed. The only sealed thing in this is the deck itself. So, it shows that you have a pre-constructed deck, 50 cards, game mat, and quick starter guide. And we'll just show you real quick what the guide looks like and what the instructions are. So,
well, actually,
real quick. Yeah, let's just show what's from here. So, opening that right now for Type 0. There. And...
this is Final Fantasy 9. It all comes pretty much open.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Pretty much like if you saw our other videos of the first Final Fantasy starter pack opening, it comes with multiples of the same kind of cards in the deck, so you don't need to, you pretty much could play it straight without actually buying any other cards. And wow. Ojama red. Of course he would.
Yeah, surprise from Vegas! Yeah, we added a few more cards in Ojama Blue starter deck, and they're not Final Fantasy related, so...
At all.
Alright, so...
Go ahead
let's
with
see
Type 0 first.
Okay, so Type 0. They're all sorted, so you start off with a playset of Ace, which is supposedly the main character for Type 0. Relatively the main character, because Class 0 as a whole is supposed to be the main, but Ace is the most important. And what's even more important here is that he has the light attribute. So that means you can throw him into any deck, but he would be best used in Class 0 because of his ability. And his ability is, when he's put from the field into the break zone, choose one job Class 0 cadet forward other than Ace from your break zone and add it to hand. So if he goes down, then at least there is some form of recovery. So you have that. And you have 3 Mughals from Class 0, also known as Mogurin. And his ability is that all the Class 0 cadets or forwards that you control gain plus 1,000 points. As a main backup, you have 3 Rem. And that's appropriate given how she turns into Crystal and she gives everyone a boost in the final battle. And because she turned into a Crystal, they also gave her an EX burst. So when she enters the field, you choose one Type 0 card from your break zone and add it to your hand. So it doesn't have to be a character, it doesn't have to be a Class 0 cadet, it could be any Type 0 card. And that can come in handy. Like for example, if you really needed to, you could grab Mogurin. So you have 2 of 8, 2 of 7, 2 in Diablos. Admittedly, I don't know where in the game Diablo shows up. 2 of Deuce, and that covers all of the Class 0 cadets for the wind section.
I never like the idea of the name Deuce. Sorry, it's a little
Sounds like
too close.
douche. I know, right? I don't even understand the concept of her using a flute to kill anything. I don't know how. Sound waves?
Magic.
Magic. Of course, her special ability would be Concerto because that's one of her special attacks. And for Diablos, the EX burst is choose one forward, deal 1,000 damage for each character you control. If you control a Class 0 cadet forward, select up to 3 backups you control and activate. So that'll be handy. And I like 7 because her effect, Snake Bite, lets you cancel an auto ability or a special ability. Alright. So for the rest of the wind section, you have 2 evokers, 2 chocobos, 2 more chocobos, and 2 ninja. So that covers the winds. And for the lightning section, which focuses more on disruption as opposed to wind's growth, you have a playset of Queen. And Queen is Ojama Red's personal favorite from Type 0. She has an EX burst. When she enters the field, you choose one forward your opponent controls. If you control 2 or more Class 0 forwards, you dull that target forward that your opponent controls. But if you control 5 or more Class 0 cadet forwards, then you break it instead. So after your her, you have 3 of the Good Doctor. And what she does is, as a backup, is when she enters the field, you may search for 1 Type 0 forward and add it to your hand. So it falls in the theme of every starter deck having that one card that lets you search for something in a particular category or particular job and add to hand. So that's her for this deck. And then you also have 3-9. And when he attacks, you choose one forward you control. Until the end of the turn, it gains plus 1000 power for each Class 0 cadet forward you control. And his special means all forwards cannot block this turn. Well, it'd be pretty hard to block him seeing as he's a Dragoon and he jumps, so... Let's see. The last representative for Class 0 would be Scythe. And Scythe is really good in the beginning of a game using Class 0 because when Scythe attacks, you choose one forward opponent controls. Until the end of the turn, it loses 1000 power for each Class 0 cadet you control. So in the beginning, it only loses 1000, but after you build your board, then it starts losing a lot more. And it only costs 2 to bring her out, so that's really not bad considering. So for the standard lightning cards, you would have 2 Black Mage, 2 Summoners, 2 Ramu, 2 Dragoon, 2 Cyclops, 2 Ninja, and 2 more Dragoon. And that just about covers the Type 0 starter deck. Alright, Ojama Blue.
Alright. This is Final Fantasy IX. So of course you would get the star character, which is Zidane, which is a light monster. So he's flashable in any deck, but of course, as with anything, he is most suited with his category 9. So basically, he's a 3-drop 7k, which is really nice, but then if you control category 9 forward, then he actually becomes 2-drop instead. And also, when he enters the field, you can either draw 1 card or your opponent discards 1. So pretty much he's just a continuous effect that just basically, if you could recycle him in any way, then pretty much he's a really good character to start off the game with. And of course, you can't have a deck based around fire without VV. VV is a weak card in general, but he is a 2-drop for 2000. His main ability is basically you can break him and then choose a forward, deal 5000 damage to it. Pretty standard, but his other ability is basically you break him, you choose a forward, and you deal 8000 instead. So at the cost of 2 mana, you can pretty much break most standard units in the game. It's really strong. Amarath doesn't really fit realistically with the deck at all, but basically you put a forward into the break zone and then you choose another forward and deal damage equal to the power of the forward you choose that you broke in the first place. So you can definitely sacrifice him, do 9000 to an opponent. So already we can kind of see a theme going on about basically breaking your own boards in order to destroy your opponents. It's pretty nice, but his 5-drop build summoning condition is a little awkward. And that's all the fire forwards. The fire category 9s are is Black Waltz 2, which was basically, if you played 9, it would be the evil versions of what VV was supposed to be. He has EX burst ability. When he enters the field, you choose a forward your opponent controls and deal 3000 and 1000 more damage for each card in your opponent's hand.
Wow.
So manipulation into the opponent's hand and probably your own hand will probably be a reoccurring theme with the deck. For standard units, we have 1 Samurai, which is Brave automatically, which is nuts. 1 Warrior, or 2 Warriors, sorry. 2 Ninjas, and actually that's all the 4 standard unit boards. For the standard backups, there's quite a numerous amount. Oh, sorry, I apparently missed one samurai. I'm done. Alright, so for backup standards, we have 2 ranger, 2 invoker, 2 sage, and 2 summoner. So it's a pretty actually nice backup lineup. I know that a problem with a lot of the first preliminary starter decks were that they didn't really come up with enough backups, so that really bothered me. And then for the summons, you get the standard Ifrit. I believe Ifrit was in the Cloud deck, I believe. Or it might be a different version, I totally forgot. And as I opened the deck, I didn't know what that color was, and now I found out it is water. So, and I should have known because Garnet, of course.
Of course.
She is the main summoner in the field. When she enters the field, you search for 1 water summon with 2 or less, and you automatically play it without cost. So pretty much your Muggles, your fairies, all become valid plays as soon as you put a 3-drop in.
Nice.
Which is really, really nice and really, really fitting considering I do play a Una deck. So possibly we could see a summoner deck in the nearby future. And of course we have Winna, one of the weirdest cards, definitely. But for each card in your hand, Quina gains 1,000 power. So from 5,000 for a 4-drop, not that good. But she, or it, realistically, has a Eat ability, which you only pay the cost of Quina itself, is to choose an opponent your opponent controls, which has been dealt damage that turn, which, as you said, or as I said, reoccurring theme with the deck, and then pretty much you break it. So straight and simple, doesn't matter, you break it. You just break it. The last forward 9 is Steiner, which is an EX burst ability, which is a little weird considering what he is. But basically, he enters the field, you search for a category 9. So he's the searcher of the deck. Not exactly the best considering he's a 5-drop for 6k, but you're gonna take what you're gonna get, pretty much. Standard units for the forwards is very small, and because all you get is 2 knights. That's it. That's it. Plain and simple. The backups for 9, actually, I did mention this, but then it is our Metacon. Metacon was, I believe, the evil Moogle that Fuji had. But basically, he's a pretty good card. You just basically recycle bad cards from your hand back into the bottom of the deck, and then draw the same number of cards. So he just keeps on recycling himself, basically. Really, as I said, the current theme of the deck. And of course, there's Eco. When Eco enters the field as a backup, you may search for category 9 forward. So she is the backup. Unfortunately, you only get 2 of her, which is not that good. You get the Mog from 9, which is Librarian, I believe, which I believe that was. Oh, actually, Eco was the keeper of the Muggles at the time, or the Mogs. When Moogle enters the field, if you control Eco, you draw 1 card. Plain and simple. Put Mog into break zone, choose 1 forward, return to owner's hand. I'd rather Leviathan. For standard backups, it's a very small lineup. Outside of that, it's 2 Invoker. But the standard summons that you get as they come is 2 Fairy and 2 Moogle. Very standard water summons. Still very good. Very coincides a lot with Garnets, and same with Moogle because you just pay it for free, and then you just +1 realistically. And that covers up Final Fantasy IX.
Yay! So stay tuned for our next video in which we play a test game using our 2 starter decks. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, the fun is just getting started.